Hi, my name is Alex Williams and I'm here to talk about the work fitness program test interviews that we do at Escape Studios. And these are organised by Andrew Brassington, who's the head of the work fitness program at Escape. And what we do is every few months we organise a series of mock interviews with industry for our students so that they can get used to the idea of what an interview is like and what kind of questions you're going to get asked. And this is actually quite an important thing to do because one of the key things you need to understand as an animation graduate is that by the time the company has looked at your reel, they like you, right? They already know, or they like your work. And now they're going to call you in for an interview and you're going to think, what are they going to ask me? Am I going to mess it up? But basically what they want to know at this point is, do you have horns and a tail, right? And one of the things we prioritize at Escape Studios is project work, is group project work. That's one of the reasons that industry like us, because our students get used to working together in teams, just like you have to in industry. And what people want to know at interview, I'm saying facetiously when they want to know, have you got horns and a tail, but what they're really after is, are you going to work well with other people? Because they're going to have to work with you day in, day out for a project, and that might be a long project, it might be as much as a year or 2 years, and if you're a difficult person to work with, then they're not going to enjoy that experience. So that's what they're really trying to figure out. And you know, I can really remember the first time I did job interviews when I was very young, or at age about 17, when I was first looking for work, part-time work, and I was absolutely terrible at them. And you know, I completely didn't understand what it was about, and I thought it was an opportunity to kind of show off and tell them what great O-levels I had, and you know, that kind of thing. And I so got it wrong. And so now, you know, looking back, I wish I'd had a little bit of training. So, you know, luckily enough, this is what you guys are going to get at Escape, talking about how to go through interviews. And what we do is we set up these mock interviews. So you're going to have a mock interview with, you know, Framestore or Double Negative or whoever it is. And they're going to ask you questions that everyone's going to ask you. They're going to say to you stuff like, well, why do you want to come to Framestore? And, you know, you kind of need an answer for that. And not just, the answer is not just, I need a job. The answer is, you know, to focus on Framestore, to have done some research on Framestore, to have Googled them, found out what their big projects are, you know, what makes them tick. Why are you particularly interested in them? Because they want to know that you've done some work, you've done some research, that you're not just another company on the list of companies that you're applying for. And they're going to ask you stuff, you know, like, why do you want to be an animator? And, you know, again, you know, you could say, well, because I, you know, saw Toy Story when I was 3 and I really liked it, but you kind of want a better answer than that. And, you know, these interviews are a way of practicing, not so that you end up with these kind of rote, pre-recorded answers to the questions, but so that the questions don't come as a surprise to you. And so that you get used to the idea that an interview is really a kind of getting to know process, but they are going to ask you certain questions that you need to be familiar with. And it can be very difficult. You know, when you first do an interview, you feel put on the spot. You might feel a bit tense. You know, you might find that your heart rate goes up. Maybe you stop speaking coherently. You know, it can be a stressful experience. So we want you to learn to relax in the interview, to think of it as just a kind of friendly chat, to talk about you and the work that you've done, and what you might bring to an interviewer, and why you might be able to add value to a company like Framestore or Double Negative. So that's what we do. It's part of the work fitness program. They're mock interviews. They're not real. They're only pretend, but they are something that we really recommend everyone signs up for, and something that will hopefully help you get much better at the interview process, so that when you do it for real, you knock it out of the park and you land that crucial first job in the industry.